Hi, this is Sherry Dinkins. Just want to give you a little heads up on how to get started on the annotated bibliography. Don't worry about those words. Annotated means note-taking. Bibliography means list of sources. So it asks you to find 3 different articles. Each one needs to be on a lifestyle or hobby. So instead of all 3 articles being on one hobby, we want to figure out what 3 things do you want to write about and put an article on each one and then bring that in. So the first thing it tells me is of the 3 articles, one must be from the database. We're just getting some practice so that we'll be doing well when we get to the argument essay. When I click on that link, it brings up this window. I've already put in the word yoga. When I hit the search button, I'm getting things like books. I'm also getting things from 1975. Kind of old. So I'm going to go over here to the, this is where we're going to filter our results. I'm going to click on the available online. With publication date, I'm going to actually make that from like 2010. I mean, whatever date you want to do, you just type over the date. And then under resource type, usually I want to go for articles, magazine articles, and newspaper articles. So I want to leave out videos and books and book reviews. All that stuff's not going to help me. Then I'm going to click on the apply filters. You don't have to sign in to get access. If you're having any issues, you can call our tech support and actually get help signing in. But to look at stuff, you don't need to sign in. You'll get more results if you sign in, but you'll still get results. So not a big deal. So I'm getting a lot of stuff that is just about yoga. Now, I'm kind of old, so I'm going to change my search a little bit. But before I do, I'm going to remember these filters so that every time I change something up here, I don't have to go back through and say, okay, nothing older than 2010. Okay, it's got to be online. Okay, it's got to be a newspaper, a magazine, or an article. So I'm going to click on Remember Filters. Now, you don't need to do that if you don't want to, but I'm going to do it just to save time. I'm going to click on Advanced Search. I'm going to put the word seniors. I am old. And now I'm going to get something about seniors. Okay, that's senior schools. Okay, for seniors with arthritis. Okay, I'm kind of interested. I don't have arthritis yet, but I could get it. How about yoga exercise improves balance control? So I'm not falling down yet, but this sounds kind of interesting. So I'm going to click on the article title. It doesn't give me the article quite yet. What it does is it gives me a description up here, and it says, Sherry, do you want the article? I'm going to click on the first link that says I can have the article. Now, don't worry about that. I'm going to kind of see kind of what's going on here. See how many pages? It's 9 pages long. It's pretty long, but let's say that I'm really into this article. Mostly for me, I would just read the introduction and the conclusion. I'm not really interested in the methodology or whatever. So I think this is still going to work for me. You may find an article that's shorter. It's totally up to you. What I want to do is make sure that I don't hit the citation button here. What I'm going to do is go back to the ICC search place. I'm going to hit the citation button there. It's a little more accurate. It does a better job. I'm going to click on Copy Citation to Clipboard. I'm going to go back to Untitled Document. I'm going to paste that in. So basically already I'm part of the way through my assignment. I've got a works cited entry for an article on yoga for old people. Very cool. Let's say that I'm going to just Google an article for my second one. Now, obviously, I haven't formatted this, and I'm going to say, Sherry Dinkins, don't forget to summarize this article in 2 to 3 sentences. That's the part I haven't done yet. And third sentence should be recommendation for who should read this article. So basically what I'm kind of doing is just setting it up a little bit so I don't forget what I need to do so far, because I've got part of the assignment done, but not the whole thing. So I Googled the phrase, how to help students learn during college closures due to weather. Thought it might be kind of interesting. There's something from K through 12. Nah, that's not interesting. Study international. We're not an international college. Here's a specific college. And I'm like, well, I don't know if those are working for me, but check it out. Harvard Gazette, which is from Harvard, says snow days don't subtract from learning. That's actually really interesting to me. If I didn't want to, I could go to Education Next, Student-Centered World. So I'm going to actually just click on the Harvard one. I haven't read it yet. But let's say this is the one I choose, like, okay, it says snow days aren't a bad day, you'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I like that one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to create a works cited entry. Now, if you haven't done that before, there's lots of places to learn how to do that, and I include a little one sheet quick guide that says, hey, if you haven't done this before and you're using a regular website, don't worry. I've got instructions on what to put first, what to put next, what's in highlighted, or nothing's highlighted, but what's in italics, where the date goes and everything. So you can follow this little handout if you need to. Our tutors are really helpful too. So I'm going to go ahead back to my article and go, well, there's a person's name, so I'm definitely going to put that down. His name starts with a G, so I'm going to put him at the top, because I'm eventually going to have to put these things in alphabetical order. Snow days don't subtract from learning. Okay, I'm going to put that in. When I put that in, of course, it's going to goof up my formatting. I'm not worried yet because I haven't done formatting. I'm going to put a period, I'm going to end that, and then I'm going to go up and say it's from the Harvard Gazette. And don't worry about how it looks yet because I haven't fixed all the formatting yet, but I'm going to keep going. And this is from Harvard University. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the name of the article, the website that it's published from, and if there's an actual name rather than blah blah.com, I want to use that. Then I want to put the sponsor's name, which is Harvard University. And like I said, if you haven't done this before, haven't done it for a long time, really quick one-page guide on how to do that. I'm going to go back and I'm going to see what the date was that this was published. January 21, 2014. It's a little bit old, but it's not too bad. And I'm also going to copy the URL. Now we always put the date in this kind of weird format. It looks weird to people, don't worry about it. So I'm going to select everything because I've got some different fonts going on, and I'm actually going to go to Format, Clear Formatting. Check that out. It's awesome. What it does is it takes out all the weird stuff that happened there, but what it also did by accident was took off my italics here. So I'm going to put the italics back on. I'm going to put italics for the Harvard Gazette. So the first thing that comes after the title would have italics. That's the website. And then there's the sponsor is Harvard University. Now I noticed that this one down here has capital E, capital I. That's how MLA likes it. APA likes lowercase letters. So I'm going to go through here and just kind of take away those lowercase letters. If you've learned APA, of course, you'll be used to doing it the other way, but that's fine. Right now I haven't got these formatted, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the font to Times New Roman 12 points. Great. Now I'm going to do that weird hanging indent. If you haven't done it before, I've got a great video on how to do it, so don't worry if you're like, what? We understand, not everybody's into MLA and not everybody's into all this stuff. So I've got the basics here. And some people tell me that they don't like having this big space here. It's actually fine that there's a big space there. If it bugs you, what you can do is go in here and break this URL to make it move up. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually take out the blue hyperlink. So I click on it and I take this remove link button. Now it doesn't have the blue in the underline, so it's going good. I haven't double spaced yet, but I'm going to do that next. Double space. I'm in Google Docs. I also have a guide on how to do that when you're in Microsoft Word. So basically I've got two so far. I'm not going to do all three because you've got things to do and you want to get moving on your own annotated bibliography. But I'm going to go up here and do my page numbering feature. It's really tempting to use the header because we're all used to putting a header. Just go down to page number. Use the first one there with the page numbers on the upper right. I notice that the cursor is behind the one, but MLA says my last name should be in front of the one, so I'm going to move that over. Before I move out of this little area for page numbering, I'm going to select both my last name and the number 1. I'm going to go up here and put Times New Roman 12 points so that it matches the rest of the document. Now I'm okay to click back into my document and start doing my job of summarizing the article. I want to put one sentence that says something like the author describes, or this article explains, or in this article the authors show, whatever that is. And then I want to do a slightly more detailed sentence in the middle if I'm doing 3 sentences. That detail I don't want to include statistics or percentages or dates. I want it to be a little more general, but I do need to fill up that sentence with information. So I'm going to have to kind of ride that balance there. The last one would be something about who should read this article. If you haven't done something like this students, don't worry, there are samples that are right here that you can click on to see how did somebody else do it. You can see that I've kind of made them hard to read because I put little notes about how great they did. But you can kind of see how other students did this assignment, so you're not just kind of in the dark doing it by yourself. And I actually ask for signed permission to show these to you so that student knows, hey, you know, can I show this to students next semester? I'm going to take your name off, and there's no money or fame in it, but it'd be really cool if you don't mind other people reading your stuff. So you can kind of notice the different things that people are interested in, pandemic articles, education articles, just all sorts of stuff. I think this is the one with the Nigerian goat, Nigerian dwarf goat, woohoo! So just all sorts of different interests. Whatever you're interested in, whatever your culture or your hobbies are, we want to hear about them, and this is how we do it. So you can read their summaries a little bit to see how do you want to summarize. So basically, I'm ready to get my third item in here. I want to make sure these are all in alphabetical order. Then when I'm ready, I'm going to click on, if I'm in Google Docs, download as a PDF. I'm going to send it to my desktop. And when I submit it, it will be a PDF. So I don't want to actually just try to export this as Microsoft Word. Sometimes the little page numbering feature goofs up. So save it as a PDF. That's the safest way to actually submit your document to Canvas so that I, your instructor, can rush in there and make complimentary comments, and there might be some comments about what can be improved, and then you can look at those comments and that helps you improve for a final draft. So hopefully this video kind of gets you started, takes the fear away from I've got an annotated bibliography coming up due and I want to get it done. Thank you so much for watching the video.